Hi, so this is a repertoire lesson from the RCM Grade 1 book, and this is Waltz by Bartolome, Calatayud. So this is a very great piece that I use with my students a lot, and one of the reasons I do that is that it has a really clear definition of melody, bass, and accompaniment, and that's one of the most important things that I use the piece for. So it's getting students to bring that melody out while keeping all the other voices kind of contained. So let's try that out together. So let's try the melody first. So that's the first two lines there, the first 8-bar phrase. So it's a nice simple melody, starts in second position. That's another concept that by grade 1 RCM that students need to start being really aware of is positions. I started quite a bit earlier in the method book stages when we play scales like D major, we play in second position. This piece is in E minor, but because of that shift at the beginning, we started in second position. So the melody again. So that's one of the voices. Now, another voice is the bass, and the piece isn't actually written as 3 voices, but I think it's implied that it would be. So the bass voice would be ringing out the whole time. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'll play the bass and the melody notes. Sorry. So that's just the melody and the bass, and then the accompaniment voice is just going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the accompaniment voice is just kind of fills out the sound and the rhythm of the piece. What you don't want to do is cover up the melody with the accompaniment voice. So you don't want this, where this ringing E gets covered up by lots of sound from these inner strings. Instead, you just want so just nice and soft on those inner voices while bringing that melody out. So that's some musical ideas to work through the entire piece. You can pretty much work through the entire piece just like I just did. It's just playing the melody on its own, then playing looking at the other voices in the context of melody, bass, and accompaniment. I like to describe it to younger students as like a medieval hierarchy. So the melody is the king and the queen, the bass voice is the merchants and the noblemen, and the accompaniment voice is the peasants. And if the peasants are too loud, it's a revolt. We can't have that. So we must have the melody be the loudest thing. Other parts of the piece, there is one awkward thing, which is unfortunate when I'm teaching beginners, because I like to give them pieces that are uncomplicated and adhere more closely to technique that we've been learning. But in this piece, there is this chord, this B chord here, B7 chord, that is all in one fret. My only recommendation is just don't go too wild with the hand position. Just try to keep the fingers curved and relatively close to the frets. You're in that position for a second, and then relax the hand back into a position where the knuckles are more parallel with the hand. Same thing on the shift. I see a lot of students, shift up and their whole hand position kind of disappears. It's really important that when you shift, that your fingers are all still ready to play and your hand is still looking like it's in a good position. I'll go on that's one spot to talk about. So for certain students, this is definitely a good fingering that they have in the book because it allows you to be very legato. You get to hold on to these notes and then play those notes with 4 and 3. For certain students or young students, I'll accept that a shift with 2 and 1 going up and down, providing that the hand looks like it's really good when they're shifting. It depends on the student. Some students, if their position and their hand position is worked out carefully enough, they'll be able to do that in a nice legato way. Some students, it's a little bit tricky, so I let them cheat a little bit, providing that they're keeping their fingers in order and that their fingers aren't all over the place or trying to escape, as I like to joke about. As we go further into the piece, little bass line with a rallentando, and then an A tempo back to the original speed. And then just at the very end, there's these harmonics. What I'd recommend is that you do the rall just a little bit sooner to give yourself time to get up to the 12th, up to the 10th position. So those harmonics are just created by being right over top of the middle of the fret, and you touch the string. You have to physically touch the string, but you don't push down so it touches the fret. If you're having real trouble with it, try moving a little bit more ponticello. Sometimes it's hard to get those notes up in this area, but it's just a nice little finish. And as soon as you play these open strings, you have to shift so you're ready. But like I said, the main thing I do with this piece, and pretty much all pieces up to like the grade 3 level or grade 4 level, is we focus on our posture, our hand positions, and then just like some really basic musical principles. So in this one, bringing out the melody more than the other voices. And of course, this is a waltz, so the rhythm of the waltz basically 1, 2, 3, strong, weak, weak, strong, weak, weak. Throughout the entire piece. So if you can maintain your posture, hand positions, bring out the melody, and have a consistent waltz kind of tempo or rhythm, then I think it's a very successful piece. And students generally seem to like this piece a lot. It's full 2 pages and it's a little bit longer and sounds nice and Spanishy. So